Okay, so you might be feeling that your sales are a little bit stagnant and you feel like you need a refresher. Fantastic! I've got my coffee ready and I've been working on this video for the past week. So let's dive into how we can refresh your listings for summer of 2025. If you're watching this video in real time, we are on the 1st of July and we've got to challenge you to make these changes for July, August, and September, so for the next 3 months. Now, whether you've been selling on Amazon for a while or you're just getting started, these quick and simple tips that I'm gonna be diving into, and by the way, I'm gonna show you some real examples on Amazon UAE right now, are gonna help you just make some necessary changes and like a shake-up with your product pages to try to see better sales during the hot summer months in the UAE as well as in the entirety of the Middle East. So without further ado, let's jump straight into them. By the way, if you've just stumbled upon this video, hello, my name is Crystal and I'm the founder of Amazon Sellers Society and Sellers Society. We are a certified Amazon service provider and we've been assisting sellers on Amazon in the Middle East since 2019. If you are a loyal subscriber, welcome back. I hope you are as excited for this video as am I. I'm so excited. So I'm going to show you exactly the strategies that we're going to be following this summer. Challenge yourself to follow these strategies with us. Trust me, they're much simpler than you might imagine. But by the way, simple changes do end up make big differences to your Amazon business. To your business in general, that's how things go. Before we dive into any tip, let me show you a real life example of what I do not want your product listings or pages to look like. Now, if you are the seller of this product and you happen to stumble upon this video, I'm so sorry. I just want to ensure that our product pages look much better than this. If you are selling on Amazon, you need to have better looking product pages. So I'm sure you're looking with me on the screen. You might not know what am I talking about? What are the issues with this listing? So let's dive a little bit deeper. And honestly, let's just get started with step number 1 of what you need to do. And that's creating or crafting a compelling product title. So I'm going to be talking about a lot of different things, but the first and most important thing is crafting a killer product title. So let's dissect it and talk a little bit more about this. Well, a product title is very important, first of all, for the SEO optimization of the listing, meaning for the Amazon algorithm to really understand what the product is all about. Also, the product title is something a customer does see when they are on the search page results. So they do want to understand further a little bit more information. So you have about anywhere between 200 and 250 characters for the title, depending on the category that you're selling in. First and foremost, it's very important to include the product name. By that, I mean not your brand. I mean, what is the product? So it's important to add that utilizing good keywords. I'm going to talk about it in a second, but you need to add that into the title so customers can understand what they are buying clearly and make sure that the product name is at the beginning of the title. The second thing is you want to highlight any key features, anything important that you think might be a unique selling point to your product, you want to highlight it. Weight, color, dimensions, specific features that the product does, collapsible, anything like that, you do really want to highlight them. You want to highlight them somewhere at the end of the title, just because the beginning part of the title is very well, you want to focus on your main SEOs. Coming into using main keywords, obviously you want to use very high-end keywords for your title for 2 main reasons. First of all, keywords is how customers find your product, so it's important to have keywords in order to index your product. And second of all, if I'm searching for, like we used in the example, if I'm searching for a garden cart, I need to kind of see garden cart in the title as well, just so that I can understand as a customer that I'm actually buying the same product. If we go back to the bad example, unfortunately, yes, it does have the brand itself right here, and it just has a few little details about the product. Garden, heavy duty cart or trolley. Yeah, I know that's what the product is, but there's no unique features like we said, and there's not a lot of keywords in this title. And the title tends to be extremely short, whereby we want it to be much longer than that. Now, before we move on to step number 2, I'm gonna ask you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's just the button down below. Leave me a like on this video and make sure you comment in the comment section below. But I'm going to tell you in a second what I'm going to ask you to comment if you like me to create a different video version of this video. Anyhow, let's talk about step number 2, and that's bullet points or key features. What Amazon calls key features, what we call bullet points. So you really want to optimize your bullet points. Look, let's be honest. Most customers, some data shows that customers, like around 80% of customers, only buy products via the images. Like they just look at the images and the video inside of your product page if you have one, and they decide to buy the product, yes or no. So yeah, I know bullet points, customers aren't going to really read them, but some customers do. Some customers dive very deep into the details and information. And not only that, bullet points or key features are also SEO optimized. So you are adding all of the keywords that you normally should add into your title as well. You're adding them into the bullet points, and this is proper way of indexing your product so that your ads also work very well. So first and foremost, you want to highlight key benefits of the product. What does this basically mean? Just saying a product is, for example, made of stainless steel means nothing to me as a customer if I don't know what the benefit of that would be. So instead of saying made of stainless steel, point, you can say made of stainless steel. That's why, obviously you need to phrase it correctly, but hence why it doesn't rust and it lasts for a very long time. So that would be the benefit of something being stainless steel, rather than just saying made of stainless steel, as if the customer has to know why that is a benefit. No, you have to make it very clear. Second of all, if you have any sort of certification, this is very important. Saying that it's BPA free is very important. Mind you, you want to make sure that it is BPA free and you have the proper certifications, of course, that goes without saying. But those things highlighted are very important. Think about the Amazon seller badges, like the Amazon Choice, as well as the best seller. Those badges are very important for customers because they give them additional information so that they can make a decision. Those certificates that you would add into your bullet points are exactly the same thing. If you add them into your bullet points, they assist with getting people excited to buy your product. And lastly, you need to use your keywords strategically. Yes, keywords need to be in your bullet points as well. I'm gonna talk about it in a second, but they need to read naturally. Don't just like stuff them with keywords just because you want to add those keywords. It needs to be naturally added into a sentence. Luckily, with AI and things like ChatGPT, it's so easy nowadays to incorporate and create those bullet points. But ChatGPT isn't going to know how to create those bullet points unless you give ChatGPT these examples and create a prompt where you say, yeah, I want to highlight these key benefits. I want to make it that. I want to showcase my certifications, and I want to make sure that I add my keywords strategically. So make sure you tell ChatGPT what you want, and then ChatGPT will give you, or any AI tool that you use will give you the right bullet points. Remember, you want to have a minimum of 5 bullet points or key features. Now, if you want help with this or anything that you are facing with Amazon, why not consider booking a call with myself and the team so that we can assist you with our programs. You'll find all the details in our description box right under this video, or you can just go to our website www.assmiddleeast.org. And last but certainly not least, images. If I can count the amount of videos that I've done on this channel where I've talked about images and why images are so important, I'm sure you're bored. If you're a follower of the channel, I'm sure you are bored by now. But still, I still see people not focusing on their images. Guys, this is a priority. You need to focus on your images. Everything nowadays is visual in nature. That's why people like things like YouTube. I get all of my tutorials on YouTube these days. Things like YouTube, short form content. So people are more visual in nature. That's why just adding a couple of images of your products isn't going to be enough. If you remember our bad example, the seller just gave one image to the customer. That's certainly not enough for anyone to make a decision. Amazon gives you the ability to add up to 9 images. That's including the main image. So you should at least add 7 images in total. Remember, the main image is sometimes a little bit boring because it only contains the product itself with a white background. But the rest of the images, once a customer logs into your product page, those secondary images, those are the images that provide customers all of the information that they need in order to purchase the products. And unlike what we do in like on websites or on Instagram as an example or anywhere, on Amazon, images do need to contain text and vital information, unique selling points to explain to the customer what the product does. There should not be any way where a customer has to guess what the product does or doesn't do. You have to highlight the key features of your products. And come on, it is very easy. So let's talk about adding high quality images. Number one, of course, your images need to be of a high resolution. So on Amazon, it has to be pixel-wise, I would say a minimum of 1,500 times 1,500 pixels. Yes, your images need to be a square. You do want to showcase the product from multiple angles, but you don't want to just put different images of multiple angles without any context or explanation. You do want close-up details because you want the customer, what would a customer do if they were to see the product in real life? They would see it from different angles and they would see it up close. So in your images, you want to try to do and mimic the same thing. And certainly lifestyle images, some sellers call them in-action images. Those are wonderful. And with the invention of AI, there's so many easier ways nowadays to create AI-generated lifestyle images. Yes, I do prefer real images for sure, but obviously it's not always possible. So you can, there's no excuse anymore. You can create lifestyle images for your products. And it's just like interesting because it breaks up the monotony of having images that are just always technical in nature. So depending, of course, on your product as well, sometimes if your product is too technical in nature, just a lifestyle image doesn't make any sense. But generally speaking, you want a lifestyle or in-action image. It's just because it's a little bit more, I don't know, it's like it gets people to just imagine how they would utilize the product. So let's go back to our examples and let's look at the negative example. But then I want to show you a good example as a difference. So starting off, number one, like we saw, the title is too short, doesn't contain any information. Number two, the seller has only provided one image, and I'm not sure if you can see it on my screen, but the image is blurry, not that good. Number three, the seller has provided bullet points, but the bullet points are just very technical in nature, giving me just general information, not really very informative. Now, it's funny because the seller is brand registered, so they can really do a lot of things. Let's look at a good example. And I'm very proud of this seller because the seller is one of the sellers that we work with directly. So this is a product. Look at this product currently having the Amazon Choice badge. First of all, look at the title. The title is complete, contains exactly like we said, the main keywords, but also contains unique features of the product, such as 360-degree all-terrain wheels. That's a unique feature. Adjustable handle. That's a unique feature. Trying to upsell the product, ideal for the beach, shopping and outdoor. As if customers don't know. Yes, customers do know, but why are we getting them to guess whether or not the product is ideal for beach shopping and outdoor? We need to explain it upfront. Look at the main image, how simple, but also how good it is. And look at the other images, if I may say so myself. It's very good. All of the images contain images of the product, so the product looks great, but also contain vital information. So if I wasn't to explain to the customer that the handle is adjustable, if I just put an image of a handle, how is the customer going to know that the handle is adjustable? Now, let's talk about it. Does the customer really care if the handle is adjustable? Maybe not, but showcasing that the handle is adjustable gets the customer to think that they're getting something that has a lot of features. Maybe I don't know if I'm buying a cart whether or not I care if the handle is adjustable or not. But by the seller telling me that the handle is adjustable, you understand what I mean? That's how you sell the product. You just show the features of the product so the customer feels like they're getting really a lot of benefits from buying this product. Now, let's look at the bullet points. As you can see, bullet points are somewhat long, but they do contain all of the information, highlighting and focusing on the benefits of the product. Starting off, each bullet point is like a capitalized title, so that the customers that only want to scan, they can just easily scan the titles. But the customers that really want that information, they can go in and read all of the necessary information. So this is something that you can easily do if you follow these 3 steps. But most importantly, what you really need to do is to subscribe to the channel. This is your challenge for summer of 2025. It's never too late. Make sure that you check your product pages right now. Leave me a comment in the comment section below if you want me to create a part 2 where we dive deeper into looking at the correct keywords that you should be adding into your product title and your bullet points, obviously using Helium 10, which is my favorite Amazon seller tool. So I'll wait for your comments. Obviously, leave me any questions that you might have in the comment section below. Thank you so much. If you've watched the video till the end, thank you so much for being a loyal subscriber. And as always, I'll see you in another video with more information. Bye.